Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters. Now let's talk about bath time. It's one of those necessary things, but there are a lot of issues to consider when you consider bath time with children. First, I want to show you something. What do you think this is? This is an old tub toy that we got when our children were quite small, and it's been something that they've enjoyed and the grandchildren have enjoyed, and so the children filled it up with water and it drips out a little hole here and turns the wheel. And do they learn anything from it? I don't know, but it's fun and it's distracting, and they probably learn something about the flow of water and how it turns the wheel. But that's a little extra for them, but it is something that distracts them whenever they're in the tub. We have these other little tub toys. Here's one of the 3 men in a tub. Here's another one. So the question is, do you make bath time a fun time, a playtime? I would encourage you to find some ways to make the necessary parts of life pleasant. And so oftentimes I see that parents have drawn battle lines and made everything a confrontation and everything a difficulty. And there are ways to make bath time more pleasant. And some children love baths and some really just tolerate them. But children do need to be washed from time to time. And do they need to be washed every day? Probably not. If a child is dirty, yes. There are other reasons besides personal hygiene to give a child a bath. Sometimes it's part of the routine of either getting started in the day or ending the day and going to bed. And so you can make it part of the routine, much like brushing their teeth or other things. But is it an absolute necessary that a child be bathed every day? From a health standpoint, sometimes children are overbathed and adults are overbathed. And so there are times that it's appropriate to skip a bath. And so that's something that you'll need to decide. But if there is, you're seeing that your child's skin is chafed or red or irritable, and certainly with little girls, and if they're having bubble baths, oftentimes they'll have urinary type symptoms, and we have to advise parents to use no bubble baths and reduce the number of bathing. So that's a decision that you as a parent have to decide. How do you incorporate baths into their day? Is it a regular thing? Is it is you just bathe when they're dirty? Is there a certain number of days of the week that they bathe? That's something you decide. But just know this: children do not have to be bathed every day. And so but making bath time a fun time. Here's another question for you. How much water do you put in the tub? Whenever I was a child, we would put about this much water in the tub. So if you're I don't know how many centimeters that is or inches. That's probably about 2 or 3 inches. But now we tend to put more water in the tub because well, I don't know why. But if you're wanting a quick bath, you put less water in there. If you're going to allow them to play and be distracted, and does mom need a break and let the children kind of play in the tub? And yes, they need to be observed. So maybe the mom is still in the bathroom, or the dad, whoever's managing it, but maybe they want to sit nearby and read a magazine article or something like that. And so sometimes it's a way to give mom or dad a break. And so there are no absolute rights or wrongs about bath time. And whether you have tub toys, and they don't even have to be made for the tub. Sometimes they just like a cup. But there are rules that you can make that help guide the behavior in the tub. If there are multiple children in the tub, are they allowed to pour water on one another? If so, can they pour it on their head? And so making some guidelines that make sense for your family will help to make the bath time more pleasant and less of an issue. So there you go. Think about the bath time rules that you would have for yourself, for your family, and just know that There are no absolutes on those bath times. It's Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now.